Have you ever gone looking for a new car with a manual transmission, only to discover that most dealership lots barely stock them anymore, and several manufacturers have quietly stopped offering the option entirely on certain models? The common explanation is that drivers simply stopped wanting them, preferring the convenience of an automatic. That explanation is only part of the story, and arguably not even the most important part. Manual transmissions require the driver to manually select gears and operate a clutch pedal, a system that demands more driver skill and attention, but has historically offered drivers more direct control over the vehicle and, for decades, noticeably better fuel economy than the automatic alternatives available at the time. But here's the surprising truth. That fuel economy advantage, the single strongest practical argument manual transmissions had left, has been completely reversed by advances in automatic and dual-clutch transmission technology over the past 2 decades. And that reversal happened specifically within the regulatory testing framework that determines whether a manufacturer meets the strict fuel economy standards their entire vehicle lineup is legally required to achieve. Modern automatic transmissions now use significantly more gear ratios than older designs, often 8, 9, or 10 speeds compared to a traditional manual's 5 or 6, allowing the engine to operate far more consistently within its most fuel-efficient range across a wider variety of speeds. Dual-clutch transmissions, a more recent design using 2 separate clutches to pre-select the next likely gear before it is needed, shift faster and more efficiently than a human driver operating a manual clutch ever realistically could, particularly under the controlled, repeatable conditions of an official fuel economy test cycle. Think of it like a professional athlete who has spent decades training a single highly refined technique, only to be matched and then surpassed by an opponent equipped with newer training methods and better equipment, where the original technique's advantage simply evaporates over enough years of competing improvement elsewhere. The manual transmission did not get worse. The competition around it got dramatically better. Manufacturers selling vehicles in markets with strict average fuel economy regulations, calculated across their entire model lineup rather than vehicle by vehicle, have a direct financial incentive to favor whichever transmission option in any given model actually produces the better official test result, because failing to meet fleet-wide fuel economy targets can result in significant financial penalties imposed by regulators. So, if automatic transmissions now genuinely outperform manuals on regulated efficiency tests, why do manufacturers not simply let market demand decide which option to keep offering, rather than actively discontinuing the manual option in many models? The answer, as is often the case with manufacturing decisions made at scale, comes down to the cost of maintaining 2 completely separate engineering and assembly processes for a shrinking customer segment. Offering both a manual and an automatic variant of the same model requires engineering, testing, certifying, and stocking parts for 2 fundamentally different transmission systems, a cost that becomes increasingly difficult to justify as the percentage of buyers actually choosing the manual option continues shrinking year over year. Once that percentage falls below the threshold where maintaining the separate production line remains profitable, manufacturers tend to discontinue the option entirely rather than continue subsidizing a shrinking niche, which further accelerates the decline by removing the option from buyers who might otherwise have chosen it. So, the next time you notice another model has dropped its manual transmission option, you will know declining driver preference was only ever part of the story. The regulatory testing that determines a manufacturer's legal compliance now genuinely favors the automatic, and that quiet, technical reality has been pushing the manual toward extinction at least as forcefully as any change in what drivers actually wanted.